I get the question, is now a good time to buy? And as a mortgage lender, I stop, I pause, and I think, how do I answer that question? And sometimes in the past, I haven't done the best job, but I've taken some time to really think about it and think things through, and that's what I'm going to share with you in this video today. After 24 years of being in the mortgage business and buying and selling homes, I understand that it's not timing the market that matters, it's time in the market. With over 50 homes purchased and sold in my life, in my own personal life, and helping well over 4,000 families buy and sell homes as a lender, not as a real estate agent, I'm a mortgage lender, I have discovered that I have made money over time on all of my purchases except for on 2 occasions. The first occasion was the first place that I bought, I broke even. It was a condominium that I only owned for 2 years. And then the second one was in 2010 when I sold a home due to a divorce, and it was a terrible time to sell. I should have held the house, and I didn't. I didn't feel comfortable with doing that. So those are the only 2 times. Otherwise, staying in the market, timing in the market, it's not about what is the best time to buy, it's about how long and timing and how long you can stay in the market. So, is now a good time to buy? I think you have to answer and ask yourself 5 very important questions. I read and watched a couple videos by different coaches, and I was really impressed with this one coach who really broke it down super well. Let's get started. Question number 1. Am I gainfully employed, and do I have consistent income that I can rely on month after month? And will it continue at that rate or even increase a little bit over time? If you can answer yes to question number 1, then move on to question number 2. Number 2, can I afford the monthly payment? Not am I qualified for the monthly payment, because as a loan officer, I can get you qualified for way more than you probably need or want. But the real question is, can I afford and am I comfortable with that monthly payment? So it's a good idea to have your loan officer do an example of 3 houses that would be good homes for you, and to give you an idea of what the payment would look like and what the out-of-pocket would look like, and make sure that you're comfortable with those payments. If you are, then you can move on to question number 3. Number 3, can I afford the annual maintenance? You see, when you buy a home, it's not just you make the monthly payment and you're done. There's annual maintenance, and I would say it's on average between 1% and 2% of the house purchase price. So for example, if you bought a $400,000 home, I think you can expect between $4,000 and $8,000 of annual maintenance. And that could come by repairing hot water tanks or replacing AC units. It could come with roof repairs, replacing sinks along the way. You're going to have annual maintenance. If it doesn't happen year 1 or 2, it might in year 3 and 4. You want to be ready for when those things happen and those unexpected situations and circumstances. And then there's things like just deferred maintenance that you really want to stay away from, like rotting wood, and you want to get those things replaced on a regular annual basis. So can you afford the annual maintenance? If you can, then move on to question number 4. This is probably one of the most important ones in my opinion. Are you going to be living in the area for a minimum of 3 years, preferably 5+ years? Here's the thing. When you buy a home, you have closing costs, 3 to 6%. You have taxes, insurance, interest to get you to your first payment. When you sell your home, typically you're going to have costs too. You have real estate costs, selling costs. So you can imagine 6 to 8% of your sales price goes out for closing costs. So that could be $10,000, $15,000 buying, and it could be $15,000, $20,000 selling. So you have to make sure that you're prepared to stay in your home long enough so that as your value goes up and your loan balance goes down, you've built enough equity to pay both those incoming costs and those outgoing costs, plus make a profit if possible. So I told you about my one situation where I only lived 2 years. Fortunately, I was able to sell the condo, break even, and buy a house and upgrade. But I didn't make money on that investment. Remember, it's only 2 years. So you want to be able to stay in the house and know that you like the area, you're secure in your job for the next 3 years, possibly and preferably 5+ years. And if you feel good and confident with that, then move on to question number 5. And the last and final question that you have to be able to answer yes to is, do you have at least $10,000 accessible to you, either in a bank account or in cryptocurrency or in an asset like a 401k or a stock fund? If you do, then you can be confident that you can buy. Here's the thing. Sure, there's many down payment options, 0 down to 3% down, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. There's also things like closing costs that you can negotiate for the sellers to pay on your behalf. However, you're going to have and want to have reserves. Remember, we talked about annual maintenance and unexpected things that come along, and you're going to want to have an emergency slush fund just in case those unexpected things happen that you really can't predict. So as we bring it home, you answered yes to all 5 questions. Yes, I'm gainfully employed. Yes, I can afford the monthly payment. Yes, I have money set aside and I understand that I'm going to have annual maintenance. Yes, I'm going to live in the house for at least 3 years and preferably 5 or more years, or turn it into a rental. And the last one is that you feel comfortable and confident because you have existing money in the bank, at least $10,000, to move forward with your home purchase. If you've answered yes to all 5 of these questions, then now is a good time to buy a home. I'm Dawn Connors at Mortgage One, providing you fantastic mortgage solutions.